Doing great.
I guess we can get started. Y'all boys fought hard, big picture. I felt like we had still a chance to win the game in the fourth quarter. That's 2 weeks in a row where defense struggled a little bit to get a stop for us. This week it was our offense's turn. And I just feel like, it's an opportunity for us to figure out the game together. I have to remind myself we have 22 new guys on our team, and we're still learning to gel, we're still learning each other, and it's a growing situation. So we have to learn through these situations in order for us to grow and evolve. We're going to do this thing. We're going to figure it out. Overall, my hat goes off to Jackson State. They were resilient. They were tough. They hung in there. They took some big hits from us. But overall, I'm really proud of the resilience that our defense showed, our team showed, to try to get the victory.
All right, before taking questions, Coach Short to take questions for our student athletes, Draylen Ellis and Davion Nash. Questions for the student athletes first.
Just Mr. Ellis, I know you back. I know it's not the result you want to come back home, but how did it feel to be playing back in front of your home fans cheering you?
It was a great atmosphere. I love the crowd. The crowd was rocking a lot. We had the bands. We had both bands playing. It was a great atmosphere. We didn't get the result we wanted, but it was a fun time back home.
Draylen, there's a little bit of controversy over where the Southern Heritage Classic will go from here. Considering some of the games that you guys play in front of, there's not as big a crowds. What's this like to play in front of a crowd like this, as big as any FBS school play in front of?
It is exciting. I love it. You get a chance to finally put on a show for, a big crowd. So you got to do what you got to do, and in front of a big crowd. So.
David, talk about that one play and giving new life to the team when you strip the ball and then carry whoever.
Well, what it is I'm a third down guy, so when I come in, I'm supposed to bring a spark. I'm not a big D lineman, and everybody see that. I'm probably the smallest D lineman y'all ever seen, but I come in and make big plays, and whenever I get a chance, I'm always ready. Coach told me to always stay ready, and I'm always ready. So when the time came and we needed a big play, I do what I can for the team, and that's all it is. That's where it's come from. It's all about the team. So come in to strip that ball. I tried to do anything to get the ball back because we needed. We was down, nine to three. We was down 6. So I tried to give Draylen the ball back, see what we could do. So that's how it was when it came to that play.
On the same note, just how proud you are of the defensive unit today. A couple of turnovers, a big stop there in the goal line. How proud you are of that unit today?
Last week was pretty hard for us because they attacked us defensively and the offense stepped up. And this week we took on the challenge, knowing what we had across from us with Sanders and stuff. So we just took the challenge on that we was gonna do whatever it take, to fight back and give our offense a chance and give us a chance to win the game.
I know there's no moral victories, man, but you play 2 ranked teams. You still 0-0 in conference. So how can you use this as bring forward to a successful conference season?
We had 2 very big games. As you see, 2 tough losses, but we go back and watch film and correct what we did wrong and just finish games. That's all we got to do is finish games, and because we're fighting hard first quarter through fourth quarter. So all we got to do is find a way to finish and find a way to get the victory. So these 2 losses are going to help us.
What can you say are is the biggest lesson that you kind of learned in these first 2 games against ranked opponents?
Never get too high, never get too low, because you never know what can happen. Just stay the course and just play the game. Just whatever the game plan is, just follow it and just execute.
All right, we'll dismiss our student athletes and then we'll start questions with Coach George. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll start questions with Coach George.
Kenny, how much do you remember playing here when the Oilers/Titans game, and compare that environment to this environment?
Oh, this environment was electric. When I played here, it wasn't a lot of fans in the stands. I think they felt some type of way about us coming here. Initially playing in Nashville as our current permanent home. But the atmosphere was awesome. The bands, the pageantry, the HBCU experience, it was wonderful to be a part of this.
And to follow up on that, do you want PSU to stay in this?
You know, that's not up to me. I just play the team that on the schedule.
Coach, can you talk about your defense and how proud you are? They 9 points and they turned them away.
That team, that offense put up like not 52 some odd points or something like that. Shador had 5 touchdowns, almost 500 yards passing or something crazy like that. And for most of the game, we were defending our end of the field. And they came up with big goal line stands, 4th downs, got turnovers twice, you know, and they kept fighting. And, you know, I told them, I said, listen, we didn't lose, we ran out of time. And Tom Landry said this a long time ago. As a coach, if you don't learn how to lose, you'll never learn how to win. And that's it. I mean, again, you know, this was the hottest team that everybody's talking about. I believe we can win. We were still one play away, one drive away from possibly going up 1 point at some point in the game. But we never got discouraged. Typically in a situation when your offense is not producing drives and they're not efficient, you can hang your head, you can give up. But we didn't do that. They kept fighting, and this is going to pay off at some point during the season. The table will turn, an opportunity will present itself, and we will overcome that threshold. I've been a part of teams like this as a player, and now as a head coach. And I couldn't be more proud of my young men. And you know, I love the fact that they're crying right now because they put their heart, soul into this, and it matters to them. So we're going to fix what we have to fix, and we're going to learn from it, look our wounds, and set our sights on next week. And then we go into our conference play. And that's where our goals are.
Coach, on that targeting play in the first half, I know you got real emotional about that.
I didn't get emotional. I was just trying to get an explanation of it was football.
And that leads me to my question.
Yeah.
What was the explanation given to you, and how did it affect you with him being out the rest of the game?
It affects you. It's the second week this has happened. I will have to look at the play honestly, and how it was explained to me is that it was he put his head down, the crown of his head. Well, he turned around, and I don't know how you're supposed to do this as a defensive player. You're supposed to stop, measure up, and then hit him. I don't know. I mean, these calls are subjective, and they can make those calls when they, you know, pretty much when they want to. And this is football, and it's a violent game. But again, I would have to look at it to really get a full explanation of what's targeting and what's not, and when you call and when you don't. I mean, yeah, I guess you know you want to protect the quarterback, and I get it, but you know, let's keep in mind it's still ball, you know. So, and it doesn't impact the game. We lost one of our best defensive ends to the second week in a row. So, we'll see.
The goal line stand, after you guys pulled it off, you came running to the sideline, trying to get the crowd involved and everything. What's a moment like that for you as a coach? You probably had those moments as a player.
Yeah, I mean, we're fighting our ass off. You know, and you know, we need our fans to recognize that, support us. I mean, as players, coaches, you feel that. You know, that's a momentum shift. And, you know, you feed off of that. So, you know, I get it that, you know, you're sitting here and you're watching the game, but there are times like on a third down, you want to get up and get a big stop for our defense. And, you know, if we get a big stop at the goal line, go crazy. You know, let us know that you're behind us. But hey, that's how it is.
And then just Bob, you sort of referenced this on Friday at the luncheon, but you know, if you compare the product you put on the field this year to what you had last year, how much better do you feel about where you're going week 2 of year 2 compared to week 2 of year 1?
I feel good about it. We came here last year and the game got away from us. Our offense still sputtered. I was hoping to see more progress there. But my hat goes off to their defensive scheme. They did a great job of neutralizing DJ in our run game, the quarterback run game, and they mixed it up. Once we got behind the chains, you know, they just pinned their ears back and the pass rush. But if I compare this year to last year, we'll have a full year. We train hard, we work hard, we're setting our culture, and we just have to be mindful that you know, the rest of the season is still ahead of us. We still got a lot of things we can accomplish and we will accomplish with the right mindset, with the right speech, the right thoughts, the right approach, and we grow from this. I mean, listen, we play try to play a physical brand of football, and I was really proud of the way my guys came out and played with passion, and tenacity, physicality, and restraint. But there's some areas discipline-wise, you know, penalties we gotta clean up on. You know, we don't preach only, we teach, you know, our 3 T's, you know, in terms of locking in. That's what we have to do. So that's that.
You talked a lot about the defense. What was the game plan coming in against Sanders? You keep him out of the end zone for all but one play. Very effective.
Yeah, Brandon did a nice job. The defensive side did a nice job this week, putting the game plan together, just getting pressures from different sides, understanding that he's surgical, and the pocket's tough to get to him in terms of getting sacks on him. He's big, he's strong, he's very efficient in the pocket. He knows where to go, where his pressure is coming from. He knows where to go. So defensively, you know, we knew it was going to be a bend but don't break type of mentality. He's going to take what the defense gives you. If the check downs there, he's going to take that. If the out is there, he's going to take that. If the screen's there, he's going to take that. And everything is about moving the chains and doing a nice job of keeping our defense on the field and wearing them out. You know, from a conditioning standpoint, they had 81 plays of offense to our 60. So yeah, you know, they did a very nice job of that.
As far as offensively, the first week definitely where, you know, everything was kind of clicking and rolling, and this week it kind of, you know, it's a little off going into, you know, different things. But what can you say is kind of changed from this week to last week with the offense, in your opinion?
Scheme, certainly scheme, personnel. I have to look at the film to really give you a perfect answer, but once we couldn't get our run game going, you know, that we got behind the chains. And we're not the type of offense where we can constantly and consistently be in 3rd and 8, 3rd and long situations. We've got to, you know, manage. We've got to be in 3rd and short, 3rd and 5 or less, you know, for us to get it going. So, you know, 1st and 2nd down certainly hurt. I think some looks confused our offensive linemen in the front, and the guys are running loose. And we'll look at the film, and we'll see that we're turning guys loose. They didn't do anything that we didn't see on film. We expected that. So again, once we got in the 3rd down, we're 3rd and long and forever. I don't think we crossed the 50 except, but in the second half at one time. I can't think. So it was tough for us to get any type of good field position as well throughout the game.
Coach, despite your quarterback taking 8 sacks tonight, it seemed like he was resilient and he didn't really give up on trying to get the team back in the game. What does that say about him in your eyes?
Well, DJ's tough. He's one tough kid, and you know, he's passionate about the game, and it was frustrating for him. Anytime he gets sacked 8 times, it can be really discouraging. So we're going to have to figure that out as a staff, how to protect him better, how to block better, how to teach, how to coach these kids up better, you know, and not have him lose his confidence. You know, that's the number one thing for me, is to keep his confidence going. And, you know, when we played him against at Boston P, I saw the same things. He was resilient young man, so he'll bounce back.
Okay, last question, Coach.
Hey, Coach, I know you listed the home team, man, but next week you get to play in Nashville. How good is it gonna be to play at home, no less distraction, and just focus on playing a football game?
Let me get through this one first. You know, I gotta get through the 24 hours of discouragement. You know, I mean, when you put your hopes up and you put a lot into the game planning, the messaging, and the outcome doesn't happen that way. I just need some time to decompress before I muster up the strength to get ready for next week. But that's the beauty of it. Like you said, we'll be at home, less travel, literally right down the road against a worthy opponent. And hey, we're gonna put the ball in the dirt and play ball again. So it's exciting.
All right, thanks, ladies and gentlemen. That's Coach Eddie George. The Tigers are at Middle Tennessee State next week, and then they'll be home against Lane College on the 1st.
Thank you.